Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make another very easy stitch pattern. I'm going to use my acrylic yarn and my 3.5mm crochet hook. Of course, you can use any yarn of your choice depending on what project you're going to do. So let's get started. To start off, we're going to make our slip knot, and for our foundation chain, this will be a multiple of 3 plus 4. So make your foundation chain multiples of 3, add 4 at the end, and add 2 more at the beginning chain. So I have my foundation chain multiples of 3 plus 6. So this is a multiple of 3 plus 4, and I added 2 more on the beginning of the chain. So for row 1, we are going to start by doing our V-stitch, which is a 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. So on the 6th chain from the hook, the chain on our hook doesn't count as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to make our V-stitch here. 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet on the same chain. So that will be our first V-stitch. We are going to skip 2 chains and do your V-stitch on the next chain. 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. So this will be our repeat for the entire row, skipping 2 chains and V-stitch on the next chain. Skip 2 chains and then do your V-stitch on the next chain. So I did my last V-stitch. I will be skipping 2 chains, and on the last chain, we're going to make 1 double crochet. To move up for our next row, chain 3, turn your work, and on the first chain 1 space, we're going to make our shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and another 2 double crochets. So that will be our shell. We are going to skip this V-stitch. We're going to chain 1. We're going to make our shell on the next chain 1 space. So chain 1, we're going to skip the next V-stitch, and we're going to make our shell on the next chain 1 space. So our shell consists of 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. So chain 1, skip this one, and we're going to make our shell. Chain 1, 2 more double crochets, chain 1, we're going to skip the last V-stitch, and we're going to make 1 double crochet on our turning chain. So now we have a combination of V-stitch and our shell stitch. So we just have to repeat rows 1 and 2. So now we're going to repeat row 1, chain 3. So our chain 3 will be counted as the first double crochet. So we're going to make 1 V-stitch on the chain 1 space. We're going to skip 2 double crochets on the chain 1 space. We're going to make our V-stitch. On the chain 1 space, we are going to make our V-stitch as well. Skipping 2 double crochets, and on the middle or the chain 1 space of our shell, we're going to make our V-stitch. So that will be our repeating this first row. On our turning chain, we are going to make 1 double crochet. So we have the same number of V-stitch on our third row as well on our first row to maintain the straightness of our sides. So chain 3, we are going to repeat what we did on the second row. On the first chain 1 space, we're going to make our shell. Chain 1, skipping the next V-stitch, make your shell on the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, chain 1, chain 1, and on our turning chain, 1 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just have to repeat rows 1 and 2 until you have the desired height for your project. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have learned a thing or two with our very simple V-stitch and shell combination. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy crocheting everyone. God bless.